kind of hard to pronounce, so Shahar is okay. Shahar, I'm leading the marketing for AMDOCS digital brands. And we want to share with you some of our thoughts of how MVNOs, digital brands, can win in this industry. And before we drill down into it, let's get the morning started, right? Why is it interesting to talk about digital brands? Dario spoke about it yesterday, and I'm not going to repeat some and other speakers as well, of course, and I'm not going to repeat everything. I do want to mention some of the things. So, if in the past, if we had this event, I don't know, 5-10 years ago, I wasn't here, but I would assume that we would talk about pricing and price strategies. And basically, MVNO sub-brands were all about low cost. And what we see recently is that the trend is moving. It's about low cost, but not only. And of course, it's about experiences. Everyone has been talking about digital in the past few years. But we do see how digital brands are actually becoming a conduit for even the main brands, what we call the main brands, or the main MSOs, as a conduit for innovation. And suddenly we see digital brands that are actually competing on experience and not just about cost. We see them innovative and unique, and I'll talk about some of those things. Of course, they're fast growing. We had yesterday an MVNO talking about how they, in 3 months they got 150,000 subscribers, and they aim to get, 3 or 5 million subscribers. So this is the fastest growing segment in the industry. On the numbers, 70% increase in the number of digital brands year over year, 2020, 2021. So there's a huge opportunity here. They're doing something right. One of the things that they're doing right is being simple. And we like to think of them, they're trying to do something completely different, really disrupt the way that we talk about digital. So if we were to go to speak with the main brands, or the big telcos, digital is about the channels that we communicate with subscribers, right? This is digital transformation. How do we implement web and mobile application? But digital brands, those that are really providing that digital experience, they actually don't think of themselves as a telco with an app. It's rather like an app with telecommunication service. It was mobile, and Dario presented it yesterday, how they're also going into fixed and other services. But really the experience, and when we talk with our customers, it's about lifestyle brands, not about telcos with an app. This is really, really important. Of course, they're still cost efficient and lean, and very dynamic, because you see so many brands spun up, replacing the name, other brands. Like it's like a sandbox for innovation in our industry. And we really believe there's a huge opportunity for operators in this world, whether they're MVNOs, sub-brands, or others, really delivering that digital experience. And how are they doing that? I'm not going to go into all the details. This is a research that we did together with a good friend Dario from India. It's available on our website. And just a few use cases of what does it mean to innovate in our industry. And we see, and I'm not going to go into all the use cases, of course, but things like giftcraft that have crowdsourced their customer support. Others, of course, with various variations of friend brings friend, like Visible for Verizon, or 20, our friends at Telefonica in South America, the digital brand of Telefonica in South America, that they understand that it's not just about the technology or the service. It's also about how you're running your business, how you're doing business. And for them, it's the millennial to millennial workforce. Both the salespeople, the support, everyone in the organization is millennial in order to really be able to speak with the Gen Z, as we heard before. So we understand that they need to move fast, they need to be flexible, they need to deliver that simple user experience. Why do you need to have 18 screens or 18 clicks to onboard a new customer when you can do it in 4? And this is the type of mindset that we believe the industry should change, and this is the big opportunity today. Now, of course, I'm coming from AMDOCS, we're a technology company, so I'll talk a little bit about technology. This is not for architects, but let's talk a little bit about technology. Because in a lot of those cases, we see that when you're trying to innovate today in the industry, sometimes the technology is almost like a bottleneck. Because it takes so long to do things, and the processes are really complex, and everything is really, really complex. So how can you make it simple? And from a technology perspective, one way to do it is to move to the SaaS model. And SaaS is about technology, but it's also about the business. And this is what I want to talk about. So first of all, of course, you want to have fast time to market, and everything today is about velocity. Think of startups. So you are measured by velocity, not by other things or capacity or so forth. You need to put it first out there without innovation. SaaS can help you because the time to market to implement new ideas is fastest with SaaS. Of course, it's about business flexibility. It goes hand in hand with a fast time to market. You can change, you can try out different things. You can innovate. You don't need to have months over months every time that you want to launch something. You could do it in hours, really. And part of that is also by having an open approach to your IT, that you use standardized APIs, you use modular business configurations. You need to, what we call shift left, give the business users the ability to do as much as possible without the IT being the bottleneck. And of course, scalability. So if you want to grow from 150,000 subscribers to 5 million in 3 years, well, traditional IT really would struggle. It would cost a lot to do it with traditional IT. But when you move to the cloud, and you move specifically to cloud-native SaaS, this is much, much easier. And of course, if you're in a SaaS model, you also pay as you grow. So if you want to launch today a new digital brand, or you want to upgrade, you don't need to spend millions and millions on some infrastructure that you maybe, when you'll have that 5 million subscribers, you'll benefit. You can start small, innovate, and grow, and pay as you grow. So this is how we analyze the market, and we decided that we need to find something that would be really relevant for this niche, for this very, very big opportunity for our customers. And what we did is that we launched basically a BSS stack. So you would have digital care and commerce, ordering and fulfillment, monetization, business catalog to kind of tie them all together. But okay, it's not new, right? BSS from AMDOCS. I wouldn't be standing here to say, okay, we have BSS. So what's new about it? What's the main difference is, first of all, that it's purely cloud native and provided as a SaaS model, really as a managed service, but also it's all completely pre-built. Completely pre-built, meaning we already have the customer journeys to cover the entire life cycle of subscribers and all the business processes that telcos need in order to manage their subscribers. Now let's see a little bit about what that means. And of course, on our website you have much more information and drill down into the actual product and the stack. But I'm a bit stealing here from Gartner. They call it a total experience. So I mentioned before digital, but what does it really mean to provide a digital experience? And we really believe that companies, organizations that want to deliver a digital experience to their customers, they need to become digital by themselves, and they need to think 360 degrees digital. It's not only about being able to give self-service to the customer. Even self-service is almost like reactive. You need to be proactive, right? So of course, you would need to have the end-user journeys. That would be the traditional mobile. And you do see today that mobile is number one. A lot of those digital brands actually are mobile only. They even talk about themselves as mobile lifestyle experience and not as telcos. But you also need to have the digital journeys and the digital experience for anyone that works in support, whether they're front-facing, CSRs, or even back office. They need to have that digital experience, all the information in real time, and whatever is needed, AI to bring recommendations and so forth. A digital experience for the users, the business users. So this is really, really important. If we're thinking about SaaS, we need to provide this BSS itself as a self-service to our customers. If our customers want to provide digital experience with self-service to their end users, they need to consume it in the same way. Like there's a big gap between how the BSS systems are being used and how the end user are experiencing it. No, it needs to be the same, and we're providing self-service for the BSS. So business users can do everything that they need in their own UI, configurations, no code, low code, there are many buzzwords around it. But the consumption of the BSS is really easy. And then of course, it needs to be open. Today everything is about platforms, about ecosystems, about partnerships. You want to grow, you need to add new services, you need that to be really, really easy. And this is why we have the TM Forum APIs, Open APIs, for example, and others. So you also need to have those journeys of those developers, whether the operators developers, whether it's SIs, third parties. How do you extend the functionality of your platform with third parties in an easy way? That needs to be self-service as well. And what's really important, what's the glue holding all this together? The glue, and I'm sorry it's a little bit hard to read here, the glue is really the business processes, because they all need to be focused on the customer experience. So if a developer speaks with a marketeer, that speaks with an operator, and that wants to speak with a support agent that wants to speak with a customer, they all need to speak the language of customer experience. And that language really is the customer journeys or the business processes of the end customer. And this is kind of the glue that creates the language that they all speak together. And kind of getting to the last part, but it's not just about technology. I said it's not just about technology. So we decided if we really want to do that, we also need to walk the talk, and that we need to change the way that we are doing, that we are developing the code, that we are doing our business internally in order to enable our customers to really move fast, really be very nimble. And I could do a whole 1-hour presentation only on this, but I want to focus on one area. And the area is about shift left. So if we believe that business users should be able to be really empowered and have a self-service experience of the BSS, we also need to give our people the ability to get more freedom with responsibility, or to take more ownership of what they're doing. So, I don't know how many of you are people from a technical background, but traditionally you would talk about infrastructure people and application developers and database experts, and then you would have security people and so forth. And each one, its own silo and its own layer. And we really turned that on its head, and we decided to move into ownership of business domains, where Scrum teams are really owning the end-to-end. And this is the only way for us to move fast, so that our customers will be able to move fast. What does that mean? And that you have many business domains, and the developers are really owning the end-to-end user experience. So anything from code development all the way to the operations and how the end user experience is. And this really enables us to move much faster and implement customer requests much faster. And of course, to be also much more cloud native. And we work very, very closely with AWS, because the way that this is implemented is that there is no dependency between the different business domains. So security is much, much better. And of course, the deployment is completely automated. Everything that when we change the paradigm, suddenly we started to move much, much faster. And again, I'm sharing this because I really believe that operators should also take that mindset of move fast and take ownership and shift, what we call the shift left. So remove bottlenecks and barriers. It also means that one other interesting aspect of it is, because this is really cloud native, what does it mean to be cloud native? So for us, it means to use AWS serverless functions. I don't know if this means a lot here, but basically serverless functions meaning I don't want my developers to manage IT. I want to give it to AWS to do. I want them to focus on writing the code and writing the business logic behind the code. And this also means that we are able to start small, and we don't need to pay a lot of money on IT and resources if we provide that service to our customers. So we are also able, using cloud native technology, to be so efficient that we deliver this onwards to our customers, and they are able to pay as they go and pay per use, and not invest, as I said, millions of dollars just in infrastructure, in platforms, and everything before they even see the real value. We're also open, and we completely invest in Teamform APIs. And we also expose all those business domains that you saw before are all speaking to each other through APIs that conform to the Teamform Open APIs schema. Of course, we're certifying them, and this enables not only to open it to third-party developers, but also we believe that we don't hold anything internally. We call it everyone's a first-class citizen. So because we have the same language of speaking developers, internal and external, we're able to open the entire functionality of the stack to our customers. We manage it as a SaaS platform that is, one version, one code base. Everyone has the same product, but customers can build on top of it. We have fast time to market because everything is pre-built. We don't need to start implementing and customizing all of that, but customers can do whatever they want with the functionality and extend it as they need and see fit. We just have, I think, a minute to talk about one case study. This is a customer from North America where we implemented our technology. It's part of the full stack. We didn't implement the full stack, but what was really interesting here is that I talked about velocity and about how we help make it easier and simpler. So think about IT projects. Usually to implement BSS, you would have months and months of defining whatever is needed and customizing and taking the product. No. Everything was pre-built. All the configurations, we had templates that we give to the customer. Here's what you need to decide. Take a week, decide, close it, and within 1 month you have a full monetization suite ready for use on AWS. And it's something that, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it would have taken months in any other stack. So the acceleration using cloud-native technologies, using pre-built customer journeys is just amazing compared to the traditional way of doing business. And this is what we bring to your market, to you guys, and to your customers. And with that, let's close.
Only 1 month to the launch. Big days ahead of us. Everyone knows exactly what they need to do. Ready?
This is orange, we're green and purple. You told me that these people finished high school. This guy does not know how to read.
Listen, Jones, I gotta get a better deal on that commission. I got nothing on Facebook, I got nothing on Instagram, I got nothing. Nothing works!
I'm gonna get fired.
Thanks to AMDOCS Digital Brand SaaS Suite, I don't really have to do much.
Starting today, you can focus on growing your business instead of operating technology. With AMDOCS' new digital brand SaaS Suite, we take care of everything you need for a competitive and profitable digital brand.
It's SaaS easy.
Thank you. I particularly enjoyed that video. That was excellent. I have worked in those offices, the early ones. So that was brilliant. So do we have any questions? We can do a couple, so if there's any questions, please raise your hand. Oh, it's the lady in red again. You're in trouble.
What does it mean to you, make it amazing, when we're talking about digital brands?
Amazing question. So yeah, make it amazing, the new brand for AMDOCS, but really to make it amazing is to make the end user amazing. Like, there's a lot of noise out there, right? And it's It's funny, Steve Jobs was talking about it already in 1997, if you're familiar with it. There's a lot of noise. You don't have a lot of attention from your end users. So you need to provide them with a really amazing experience. And this is our mission, to provide our customers with amazing experiences to their customers. So this is what it means. And digital brands, we believe, is the best way to do it in our industry.
Agree.
Thank you. Any other questions from the audience? No, I think you've done an amazing job. Congratulations.
Thank you.